Long before the flood, before their story became the only one told, we had reclaimed the realm. The land you now call America was once Tameri, not the New World, but the placenta of every civilization, where alignment with the Most High wasn't a belief, it was a way of being. We had just risen again. After surviving countless resets, false timelines, and engineered floods, we, the original ones, have returned to harmony with creation. The sacred feminine was restored in every gesture. Our geometry reflected heaven, and the pulse of divine purpose echoed in all that we built. And that is precisely what they came to destroy. Then came the event. It was not singular, it was layered warfare, a convergence of cataclysm. Plasma arcs igniting the skies, oceans hurled into cities, and the earth's own skin turned to liquid beneath our feet. Mountains moved, time split. What could not be assimilated was erased. They waited it out, and once the liquefaction settled, once the waters withdrew and the electromagnetic field calmed, the parasites emerged from below. Not disorientated, not desperate, but definitely deliberate. They knew exactly where to go. For centuries, they had studied what we built. They had mapped our temples, our mounds, and our sanctuaries. And what they found waiting beneath the surface was not rubble, but revelation. Beneath the Grand Canyon, they entered vaulted chambers of living stone, constructed with impossible precision, encoded in frequency, not mortar. Inside, they found crystalline thrones, walls that shimmered with sacred geometry, and libraries that responded to the vibration of thought itself. These were not tombs. They were activated structures, built with resonance, powered by intention. Star maps carved into gold and silicate, tracking not just celestial bodies, but dimensional thresholds. Atlantean glyphs inscribed in a language that changed shape when read by the initiated. Some rooms opened only when a harmonic tone was spoken. Others revealed their knowledge only under a specific frequency of light. There were tables of liquid metal, mirrors of memory, capable of showing past lives, soul origins, and ancestral lineages in motion. These were not relics, they were technologies, the kind that operate on alignment, not electricity. Further west, Zion National Park, they found circuitry embedded into the terrain itself, walls laced with mica and magnetite, designed to conduct telluric energy and amplify consciousness across dimensions. The park was no accident. It was a buried motherboard, still vibrating. Then came the Mississippi River, not a river but a serpent, a spinal cord winding through the body of the realm. Each curve corresponded to planetary nodes. Along its length were chakra temples, aligned with celestial bodies, guarding frequency gates they still haven't fully deciphered. In New York, especially upstate, they unearthed ancient observatories once used by indigenous star walkers to chart not only the heavens above, but the dreamscapes within. Below Manhattan lie vaults that house sound-based technologies, instruments of vibration used for healing, telepathy, and communion. From Tallahassee to the Appalachian Mountains, they followed the crystalline veins underground. And there they found books that do not burn, scrolls composed of light, texts encoded in sacred pattern, activated only through presence, not touch. And still, they couldn't overstand it. They couldn't recreate it, because these were soul-powered mechanisms, instruments of divine resonance, crafted by a people in alignment with cosmic law. So they did what they always do. They repurposed what they could weaponize, buried what they feared, and rebranded the rest as their own. When they say the word, this structure was founded in the year, it's because yes, they found them, but they never created them. They converted energy temples into courthouses, turning chambers into churches, harmonic centers into capitol buildings. They paved over pyramids, built highways across memory, and then gave us their language, a tongue twisted in doublespeak. Built to cast spells against ourselves, to forget the Most High, to doubt what we feel, to mock what we remember. But we haven't all forgotten. That's why pages like mine stay shadowed, why our voices get drowned by noise. Because if the masses ever realize what's beneath their feet, what was stolen, sealed, and silenced, and more specifically, who they are, the illusion ends. You see, our ancestors weren't primitive. They were primordial. They carved stone with sound, built portals with mathematics, sang reality into being. They weren't just building monuments. They were encoding maps back to source. Every temple, a frequency key. Every glyph, a resonance trigger. Every hallway, a mirror for the divine spark within. The invaders couldn't decode it, so they buried it and rewrote his story around the ashes. But the land remembers, still pulses under your bare feet. It still blazes in your bones during sun gaze. It still calls in dreams and deja vu. And when you begin to remember what they found, you remember what they feared, you. Because when the soul aligns with memory, you don't just reclaim land, you reprogram reality. They can flood the realm, torch the scrolls, mute the prophets, but they can never destroy a people who carried the divine in their design. And that people is us. For the past century and a half, they've orchestrated a silent captivity, binding the human spirit through false timelines, inverted knowledge, and illusions dressed as truth. But their window is closing, the grid is glitching, and the soul is stirring from its engineered sleep. So activate whatever needs to be activated within. This is not just a moment, it's the culmination. What a time to be alive and to carry such role in the unraveling of their final act. In my